Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman. And today, we've hit number 10. We're 10 out of 12 in Andor. Oh my goodness, and in order to celebrate, we've got a full deck here. Let's just bring him out. Let's be quick about this. We've got so much to cover here. State your name. Catherine.
Fuck yes!
Present. Well, there goes the levels on this one already. So that's all knocked out. Dale Williams, how you going, buddy?
Yeah, cheers. Thanks very much.
Oh, it's a lot more reserved. Matt Mohl.
I couldn't match Catherine's tone.
Present and not as enthusiastic as Catherine, but still enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, I mean, just before we even got on, we were just waiting for Matt to have it. He had a few microphone problems, so we had a few minutes just to have a pre-meeting. And Catherine was already running a victory lap, sort of already kind of like staring down the naysayers and rubbing it in their faces. And
I've put up with, 4 years. 4 years of people going, who wants this show? Look how good this show is. Like, I know I had crazy high expectations. I know I had expectations that could never be met. But, oh my God, this show has actually gone beyond. It is so unbelievably good. Everyone needs to watch it. They need to watch it multiple times. It is so good. Can I just run up and down the street just screaming Andor?
I think if you
one way out.
I thought you did that anyway.
I think if you're not watching it now, that's kind of on you. I think that says more about, if you're already for some reason going, geez, everybody's saying how good this thing is, and yet I am still for some reason not going to watch it. I mean, I guess if you don't care about Star Wars, fine. But if you're a Star Wars fan and for some reason you're just like not interested,
I've got a living example for tonight. Brinkett, you've met him.
Yeah.
I wrote, my God, Andor is fucking incredible Star Wars, and he goes, is Han Solo in it? I go, is that what you need to be fulfilled? Repetitive content. And he goes, oh my God, you've become one of them. Is it incredible Star Wars or incredible screenplay? I wrote both. I'm invested. And then he goes, when you pass into the afterlife, you will have your hand shaken by the ghost of Andor. He's reluctant. He'll pick up. He'll watch it all in one hit.
Really?
Give him Catherine's number.
Yeah. Catherine will start some sort of like she's like a door knocker, like a crazy door knocker. She'll just start
Jehovah's Witness style.
Yeah, she's just like, hi, how's it going? My name's Catherine. Are you aware of the television show Andor?
I'm Catherine from the Fandor Menace. We're new.
The Fandor Menace. Oh my God, there's a t-shirt right there, Fandor Menace.
Copyright TM.
All right, well, you got to do something with it now.
I got nothing. You can take it.
It's a collab.
It's a collab. It's a yep. I'll put. There'll be no podcast branding on it. It's for everyone. That's pretty bloody good, actually. If I wasn't so busy at work at the moment.
It's so easy. Just Catherine's face, Fandor Menace, Rebel Alliance logo. Come on, Josh. If I had half your skills, I'd have the t-shirts out by midnight.
God.
Where do I buy one?
Yeah, it's coming soon to TeePublic.
Catherine will be door knocking with them shortly, so
yeah,
just wait for them to be given away.
Stuff t-shirts. I'm going full religion. I'm getting that sweet, no tax, no tax, all the no tax concessions and everything else that comes with it. All right, let's just go back a little bit. Let's take a step back. It's pretty obvious everybody liked this episode quite a lot. One Way Out, it was called. First feelings when you saw the description, Catherine. I assume you were. We should just say that we had to wait another hour tonight too because of daylight savings.
Not cool at all. I planned my whole night. I was like, all right, 6:52 to 7:32, I'll watch, and then I'll do baby stuff and then get it. And in the end, I was watching like in 7-minute excerpts in between like my chores and not cool.
And it was still good.
Oh, so good. I can't wait to watch it on the TV with my wife after this.
But you, Catherine, I assume you sort of just counting the minutes down, so you jumped straight on at 7.
Yes. So, I called Mum at 5:30 going, look, I can't call you later tonight because Star Wars is on at 7. She's like, I understand. I have trained my family well.
Yep.
but yeah, it's that countdown to 6:52 when it should start up, and yes, God, it was so good. It was so good. So I've gotten 2 watches in so far.
Far out.
I almost could have done a third.
Got to say, up front,
It's just so good. And it's that television, it's lean forward television. So, I was leaning forward the entirety of the time. Like, I find myself at the end of the show, like on the edge of the couch, completely leaning forward, just so invested in every single second.
Dale, how about you, mate? Did you jump straight on?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So when you start an episode with a body bag being zipped up, we're in new depths of grim Star Wars TV.
Well, they Last Jedi'd it, didn't they? They Last Jedi'd it. They picked up right where they left off.
Yeah.
Chapman, you say that the Last Jedi thing, just one episode starting from the beginning of the previous episode. I'm pretty sure that's just a continuation thing. That's pretty universal.
Whole TV.
No,
Yes.
I'm going to keep that as that.
Okay.
What about you, Matt? I know you had a bit of a disrupted watching thing.
I did it in like 8 to 9 minute excerpts, but no, like I was watching it and then I was in my wife, I was like, can you do the bath? And then I'll come in after 6 minutes. She's like, very specific. Yeah, no worries. And then Prison Break. Oh, Mon Mothma, everything. Oh, and then I was just like, we have to watch this tonight. I can't wait to watch it on the TV.
Did you think that the intro was a little misleading? Like we kind of covered. I mean, we did do a little jump. We did a little bit of jump back to Andor's planet a little bit. We were with a little bit of Mon Mothma, but it kind of felt like when they had the intro and they showed all that sort of back stuff about the other characters. I'm like, oh, we're going to be like, we're barely going to. Prison Break will just be a part of it rather than sort of the meat and potatoes. But
they do a good job of jumping around. Very Game of Thrones like, how it just, 1 minute you're here, then you're there, you're back, and you just the whole time you're like, whoa.
People, were saying those first 3 episodes were, slow, but they were absolutely essential for establishing
Ferrex.
Yeah, Ferrex and the characters. And then episode 4, we started branching out and meeting new characters and establishing them. Like, it's just done an amazing job of establishing characters so we can do that jumping. Now, with the intro or with the start, the musical intro, I caught this on my first viewing, heard it again on my second. Am I crazy? Or did the first 2 notes, because you know how it changes every week, the first 2 notes sound a bit more quote unquote Star Warsy than what the intro's ever done before? Do I go get my tinfoil hat? Do we go call Star Wars Music Minute?
I've never noticed.
I've never noticed.
We need Xanthi on this. She's all over it. You need to get Xanthi
just on this episode. And it was only like the first 2 notes. So I was like, oh, Star Wars.
I skipped those because I have very limited minutes to watch.
Yeah, like eating into my 6-minute block.
I seriously, I started straight when the episode started. Catherine, I got a quick quiz for you. Name the 7 people in Cassian's crew.
Oh, I heard you on doing this on 3 Men Baby Yoda podcast. Okay, so Melchi, Ham, Yulof, that guy,
Cassian,
the other guy, Grief, not Grief, Keith. You got me saying Grief from.
I'll give you grief.
Yeah, but Ham was the guy from Dust Boot.
Zol, Jembok.
Was Ham the redhead guy who ate it?
No, that's Zol. Poor guy.
Oh.
Pour one out for Zol and Olaf tonight. And Tagger, yes!
Yeah, Ham was the other one who like opened up the doors going, get out of here, run while you can, get out. Really intense eyes.
Well, I put a poll up on the Twitter for the podcast a few days ago, which got some good traction, which was basically, the Prison Break will be a sneaky, let's sneak out of here. B, bash and run. 3, trash the joint. I think we kind of landed somewhere between bash and run and trash the joint, really, didn't we?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But how was the build up to that with Andy and Diego going toe to toe, quite literally, because they had no shoes on? Just like fucking Shakespearean. It was like absolutely amazing. That's some great Star Wars acting, and just right there, the two of them were eating it up.
And Diego's saying, Cassian's saying to Kino about, I'd rather die trying to get out of here than die
giving them what they want.
Giving them what they want.
I had a job like that once. It's so true.
Well, he did mention that he goes, whatever they're making, that they need us to do it as well. So it was implied that it was something important that they were making.
Something useful.
So it's that echoing of Luthen's, wouldn't you die giving it for something rather than die little by little?
Do you reckon they're making like K2 SOs?
Exoskeletons?
That's
too bulky.
The wrong shape.
Reckon it's too bulky?
Yeah, it's too thick. It's not thin enough.
Well, the funny thing was that also that it was like, we got to do this tomorrow. Like, they already fried those guys. It's all dependent on a new guy coming onto the deck. This is our window. We've got to do it right now. Like, it was lucky that Cassian was already trying to like file that pipe down before he'd already started talking about it.
Why is the guards at its absolute minimum at the moment? Why was he so sure on that? That was my...
I think what more he was saying was that they're going to increase the guards. Like this, that's the normal level of guards.
But once word gets out...
because of that stuff up,
yep.
Once word gets out, they're going to need more guards.
Yeah. And let's face it, there's never a shortage of sadistic Imperial guards.
That's why they showed you in the first episode when Cassian went in... The sixth guy was there. He was running behind, and how it was that little pause and a wait, saying, "Oh, look, I can't be everywhere at once. I got problems here." That's why they showed that.
Nothing is done by chance. It's all it's always looking, going, this is weird. This place isn't particularly because it's all.
What is Andor?
Well, it's all an illusion of just like this perfect system. But again, once Cassian figures out that no one's actually listening to their conversations or anything like that, that all they basically got is that we can electrocute you. He's like, well, the first thing I do is find a way to short the electrocution and find the way of getting up out of the pit. And it was weird because I'd never considered that they'd given them weapons. Like, they've all got like things to bash with, and I'd never really I couldn't really put my head around how the plan was going to go down. But did anybody else were you just going along with the ride, or like, I think this is how it's going to happen?
Oh, it was pretty primitive. Like, we got things to chuck. And
classic Star Wars. Yeah,
it was a bit Ewok-y, wasn't it? It was a bit like the Ewoks.
It's always, the underdogs fighting against the imperialistic, overlords. Because the Empire doesn't consider these people can do anything because, the Empire's technologically superior.
Do you think we're going to get a special edition, a new update to Return of the Jedi? And we're going to be on the planet of Andor, and the Ewoks are throwing rocks and stuff. And there's going to be a cut to Kino in his Andor camo gear going, this all looks a little familiar.
No, doing his motivational speakers, he's like the Tony Robbins of a galaxy far, far away. He was really getting into that.
We should really talk about Kino. No, I did do a little joke saying, don't worry, everybody, Kino makes it out, and putting him at the Battle of Andor at the end of the party. And things. I'll have to update that and maybe put some floaties on his arms or something like that, or a snorkel.
How much does it suck not being able to swim?
Do you not know how to swim?
And all I could think about is the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid line, which was, I can't jump, I don't know how to swim, and the other guy goes, it's the fall that will kill you.
So what do we reckon? Do you reckon he just stayed there and found another way? I mean, it's good that they didn't kill him on screen. I'm kind of hoping we don't get, the episode kind of left with Melshi and Andor and Cassian sort of making a run for it across the planet. I don't really want them to go to some beach and find Kino washed up on the beach somewhere. I think I'd rather him just ambiguously be not around, and then hopefully one day we'll see him in something else. He's just like, oh yeah, I went down another corridor and there was a bunch of spaceships. I just got a spaceship and I got the hell out of here. Or I found a plank or a piece of wood or something to float on.
He's coming back. He's coming back as Snoke, dude. So he's sorted.
Well, it's ambiguous because it's ambiguous as well. It's only going to fuel the rumors, mate. You've got to be really sure about those things.
Yeah. Well, I think, even if you can't swim, there'd be a point where you go, I'll work it out. Like,
Yeah. The alternative is either go back in and find another way out, or find a boat, find a spaceship, find anything that'll get you out of there. It's more that I think they just wanted to separate Andy Serkis from Cassian, Kino from Cassian and Melshi, and there you go. Melshi gets out. I never really occurred to me. I kind of just assumed that they would take a spaceship and fly away. I never really considered that they'd just jump off, or that it was anywhere near land for that matter.
No.
I think we're so used to those.
Well, there wasn't going to be a ship waiting for them, so that was a.
I don't know. What about you, Dale? You reckon you could swim that distance? It looked a little bit long for my taste.
Oh yeah, I could do it. Yeah, for sure.
Dale, you're a pretty fit bloke. You'd probably be all right. I'd probably make it 100 meters and just like, I'll just like float. I'll just
But I think we're done with Prison Break World now anyway. So it's nicely tied up. That section of it. I don't think we'll see Andy again.
Probably not in this series, I would think. It's sort of...
There's a lot of loose ends to tie up, but even just to give a bit more attention for only 2 more episodes.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to the Prison Break stuff, obviously, because that was the main thrust of it. But let's fly over. Let's go take a little short break over to Coruscant. We didn't get Vinnie Jones, Matt, and Catherine, as I predicted maybe the gangster would be. I didn't know who that guy was. Catherine, you're the expert on British actors. Did that face ring a bell anywhere?
Yeah, but I couldn't place it.
Come on, Catherine. There's only 20 working British actors.
Look, I'm sure I've probably seen him on, a random like crime drama, or I don't think I've seen him on Call the Midwife.
He wasn't quite slimy enough, as I kind of thought he was a little bit too. I thought he'd be slimier.
I thought he'd be more Guy Ritchie characters.
Yeah, all right. He would have been a bit. That's why I was like, it will be Vinnie Jones, but no, didn't seem like that. What do you reckon, Matt? Did you?
He had a very British vibe to him. Like, I thought Irishy. I'm just trying to find out who he is.
Yeah, I mean it's quite funny that he's sort of he talks about how it's
it's played by
wealth.
Richard
He was
Delane.
talking. So who was it? Sorry,
Richard Delane.
Oh, Dick Delane.
Oh, Dickie Delane, back again. It was quite funny that he just turns up and he just, we've been going on about how amazing Mon Mothma's apartment is, and the first thing he does is comes and he just disses it. He's just like, it's a bit old
She's
school.
She's living in National Trust, isn't she?
It's an ambassadorial house. It's not even her house. It's the
it's
house
like an embassy
of
or
Chandrilla.
something. It's like But so
This
then
is the furniture.
Yeah. So she mixes, she sits down, she negotiates with him. He seems pretty happy to play ball. And then everything comes at a price, Catherine. And as soon as he sort of said what he was going to say, I was like, you're kidding. Like, I audibly just went, oh, no.
I know. I came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, yeah, you want to bring your kid? Who cares? And then she's like, not a chance. And then the inference that was going to pair his kids up. Although that daughter could probably use a thug husband to get her in line.
No, we don't be selling off anyone's daughter. Thank you. We don't be selling off
the Dragon Castle.
13-year-old daughter. Sorry?
She could bring the gangster into line.
Oh my god! Like Mon's just rage at that moment. Just
she was spewing hard.
But we're really seeing the price that you pay for this sacrifice as is the theme really for it for the lengths and the desperation and it's not just running around with blasters, though that was pretty cool. I do peak Star Wars running around corridors with blasters. We got that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think she's when she was kind of just like, you're not gonna, like, I'm not gonna do it. And he's like, that's the first untrue thing that you've said.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Like, you were bullshitting the entire time about your charity and shit, and you saying you're not going to think about it is the first untrue thing you said.
Yeah.
Like, he was owning that meeting. He was killing. He knew exactly he had them in between a rock and a hard place.
And I have seen him in Call the Midwife.
Oh, well, there you go. We've nailed it. I mean,
And he has Australian citizenship.
oh, all right. Well, we might see him. You know,
We claim him.
we can come and boo him at a supernova or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it does question of what is Mon Mothma willing to sacrifice, and then there was a bit of a theme of that. I mean, obviously Luthen as well was questioned about what he'd sacrifice and what he was willing to do, and all that sort of thing. And it's a different thing to a bunch of blokes in a prison sacrificing themselves to just get out of it, and then you've got these people at the top who are making different kinds of sacrifices. What did we think of Luthen? It was nice seeing Claire again.
Oh, you love
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all right. I don't know about that, but yeah, sure.
Oh, Luthen this episode, just unreal. Like, and we saw the, elevators that go sideways, but down to like the lower levels of Coruscant.
126.
So good.
I mean, that was an interesting little twist, wasn't it, basically? I mean, we had no Dedra, no Cyril this week.
Oh,
No Fruit Loops.
No Fruit Loops cereal or Fruit Loops in general. But
Dedra was there briefly.
Oh, was
but-
she in the background of Oh, she was, wasn't she? When they were sort of
Yeah.
talking about the plan. Yeah, you're right, sorry. And then little mustache boy comes to the front. Turns out he's been playing both sides.
He's the Mohl.
He was. They came out of nowhere because he seems so, good in the previous episodes and had a pivotal part to say in every meeting. And then I did not see that coming out of nowhere that he's the double agent.
well, he's got a face to be a true Imperial, hasn't he?
Yeah, once he sort of like grow a mustache and let's have a look, he's like, "Yep, you're fitting nicely here."
Yeah, he does have a very good 70s moustache.
Oh yeah, that's a good bristle he's got.
Well, it did show that he said that he'd been in there for 6 years or something. They'd been grooming him and getting him ready. So Luthen's been playing the long game here. It's not like some sort of recent sort of thing that he's taken up recently. It seems like it sort of implies that he's been going for a long time. And was that the first time we saw him in person? Because did he say something about like not being able to see you, or maybe it was just I hadn't seen you in face to face in a while. Like he knew who he was.
Hadn't seen you in a year.
Yeah, so he knew who he was.
They
though.
hadn't made contact.
But
Yeah.
that's really set up. They could be going in a different direction. It's really set up for him to be the weak link that exposes Luthen.
Yeah, it seems weird that they're all concerned about having to kill Cassian because he's the link to Luthen, but it seems that Luthen's got links everywhere now. If they've got an ISB agent on the inside,
That wants out.
exactly.
Oh, the tension of it all.
I know the tension. I'm just sitting here thinking about the tension as well. Then obviously Luthen, Skarsgård shows us how to act, dropping a sweet monologue there at the end that I'm going to have to go back and rewatch. But
He basically said, "I'm a very lonely guy. I give up all relationships and
He sacrificed.
I sacrifice
everything.
everything."
yeah, so I mean, the guy was willing to sort of just be like, say, I want out, and basically Luthen was like, you're not out until I say you're out, buddy. We need you. And he was basically just like, well, if I've got to go send those other team to die in order to protect your cover, then I'll do that. If you want to make an omelette, you've got to break some eggs kind of thing.
It's a dirty game, isn't it? This building of a rebellion.
Well, that was what he said. He was basically just like, the hardest thing is I've got to basically get in the dirt with them and use their tactics and be as, ruthless as they are in places.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the little glimpse we got in Rogue One, that the rebellion has had to do things dirty. They're not the pristine, clean, morally right at all times organisation that we would believe in A New Hope. They've gotten their hands dirty and yet used the Imperial tactics against them. And yet Luthen's prepared to, play the long game.
To be fair, the rebels did blow up 2 Death Stars full of people as well. People kind of forget that, but I guess it's a means to an end, if nothing else. I'm just trying to, and I'm sort of jumping all over the shop. We should mention we did go back to blah blah blah. Cassian's home planet, Ferrex, Cassian's home
Ferrex.
planet, or the planet, and there is an implication that that Cassian's mum's sort of starting to lose the plot a little bit, or at least is up to something.
Yeah,
Mucking
but
around with her
Marv
meds or
is-
something.
Refusing
Yeah.
to take her meds, hiding her meds.
And so we got a shot of Cinta seeing the doctor and a few other people sort of going to Marva's home, watching that. And then we get a shot of another guy who I think we're meant to infer is the Imperial spy watching Marva. So we don't know if that
Is he watching
spy,
Cinta watching Marva, or is he just watching Marva, or
Jesus.
he'd be watching Marva, but we don't know if he's not has spotted Cinta or if Cinta has spotted him.
he's like, that's the lady
I'm
who
confused.
killed all the Imperials. Everybody's watching everybody, watching the detectives. Everybody's watching the detectives. So that was a nice little callback. But again, it was, there was a big callback to it in sort of into the recap intro thing, and then we probably spent that's probably 90 seconds that scene, or 2 minutes, and then we were off, and we were back on back at the prison.
We got that shot from the trailer running across the bridge. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And Cassian jamming the tool into the works of the lift,
Oh, that's what. That's what that
and
was.
that's
Yeah.
from the trailer.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have to go over Kino's speech to the guards. Sorry, not to the guards, to the entire
Yeah.
the prison break.
Yeah,
you know,
he gets on the same old Imperial microphone. Nothing, situation normal, gas leak, very bad leak, very dangerous.
He started off a bit lukewarm, but geez, once he got going, there was no stopping him, was there?
yeah, he was on
The
fire.
shot before that, when he when they're down in the pit and it's all happening. I think maybe when Cassian fixes the floors or something happens, and basically it zooms in on Kino's face, and he's just like,
Fight!
"Let's go!" Just
Yeah,
like, "Oh, shit's
he's
on."
leading the charge. Like,
Yeah.
It was
fight!
Caesar.
Yes, that was pretty incredible stuff. Yes, the speech, Matt. What hit us with you? What'd you think?
Oh, I mean, yeah, like Dale said, it started off pretty lukewarm, and Cassian had to give him a little bit of a jiffy lube to get the fire started.
Talk
But
him up a
then-
little. He had to be his hype man. He was like the Flavor Flav of the whole thing. He was just sort of getting everybody going.
But Andy Serkis has just been such an incredible star power for the last 3 episodes, and his crescendo was this speech. Like, he was just absolutely. And then he finishes with Cassian's line as well, saying, "I'd rather die today trying to get out than giving them what they want." And I'm just I'm watching on my phone, and my wife was like, "What? Why you look so tense?" I'm like, "This is good Star Wars."
I've got 2
I
more
think he got his
minutes.
wish too. If he'd rather die.
Yeah, I was just like, "Come on, hurry up and tell them that the prisoners have got fried and that you're never getting out of here, and like send them over the edge."
He got there. He told them, "Yeah, we're never getting out." Or he told, their
They
barracks.
get transferred to another place. No one's getting out. But the whole thing is like that whole. He had that sort of like mini nervous sort of, maybe he had a fear of public speaking.
To picture everybody in their underwear first before we could go any further.
Yeah, and then he just got going. But just so like Catherine says, like face to the TV sort of thing, face forward.
Yeah, there was some good running in corridors with blasters, as you said as well, Dale.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I do love a classic run around corridors, hiding in corners,
That shot when
blaster work.
when Cassian gets up on the ledge, and he's got the blaster and he sort of shoots the first dude and then shoots the other guy on the thing. I was just like, I was high-fiving in the air for that. That was it's amazing, isn't it? We talk about this show and how it's different from other Star Wars things, but sometimes a nice little cool little moment like that is just sort of exhilarating, and because it chooses its moments so well, it kind of makes it even more kind of special, I suppose.
And now I won't have to look at people's feet for another episode.
But even like the prisoner, like that was being brought in when stuff was happening, he was like, "Oh, we're breaking out," and he was joining in. Like, he then got shot, but he was like, "Nah, like I'm fighting back. Like, okay, this is happening."
Oh, the guy
I'm
who was going
joining."
down the thing. Yeah, that's right. He
Yeah.
was just like, well, I picked a good day to show up. I
first day
got
at
given a
school.
gun straight away. That's pretty handy. And there was that good moment actually where he Kenner gives the speech, and there's like the night shift, and there's like the one guy who's like, he's like, the floor's off. He's like, I'm just going to stand on the floor. I'm going to hope for the best. You know what I mean? Like he puts the foot down and just like, and he's like, all right, here we go. And it was nice that they kind of let the other floors go too. I guess even more chaos makes it better.
Increases their chances of getting away. They can't kill us all, right?
Yeah, well, considering there's only 12 guards a floor or whatever it is, and there's 7 times as many blokes.
Yeah.
There
was like 7 floors. They were saying, in the admin part was on the 8th.
Oh yeah, and poor Alan Partridge in the who was in the admin bit. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, it's a young Alan Partridge. He's like, oh.
I thought it was the guy from the rehearsal. Oh, no one else has seen that? Okay.
No, sorry.
I only watch Disney Plus.
I only watch Andor, Catherine. You should try it. I think
I'm only allowed to watch Disney Plus programs
in 7-minute increments.
With 7 guys, 12-hour shift.
So where do we go from here? Do you think there's going to be? I don't feel like that they're going to spend too much time labouring on how they got off that planet. I feel like we'll just pick up.
We're done there.
Do you think we'll Last Jedi it and go straight to the next scene? Or?
No, I think we'll. I'm going to say Rise of Skywalker, but we're not going to jump a year. We're going to. It'll just be Melshi and Cassian. I don't know. Does Cassian go back for his stuff? Does he wonder if his money's still there? Does he take that risk? I guess now the mindset's different now, because now he knows he can't run, and basically there's no point trying to hide. So the only option is to basically fight. So I don't know whether he's going to try and get his money back and then figure out how he's going to rejoin the fight, or I don't know. What does everyone reckon? Dale, what do you reckon?
It's so unpredictable, isn't it? Because it's never followed any conventions so far, so it's really wild prediction. I would like to see him connected with Luthen back on board as an operative. And
he doesn't know Luthen wants him dead either.
Well, exactly, and resolve that. And I would like to see Mon Mothma put in the hot water, so we really have some tension in both camps, and a couple of mysteries, I guess. But I want to see my boy Cyril back. What's happening with him?
He's still being just a creeper.
He sent 1,000 texts to Deidre yesterday. So
why isn't he texting?
All left on unread. He's just looking at them, going, "Oh, that's a little bit weird." Yeah, I mean, when this show sort of started, and after the sort of the 3rd episode, and he decides to get on that ship with Luthen. I think Catherine, I don't know if you were on that episode afterwards, Dale. We were just like, well, it looks like he's in the rebellion now. Like, here we go. Like, let's go do some rebelling. And it was, well, we've got a job for you. And once you do the job, and then he was deemed expendable. So, I mean, we've kind of
had schoolies weekend.
Yeah, very brief, time down on the Gold Coast, and like so many on the Gold Coast, it ended badly and in prison.
Andor schoolies.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, we don't know where we're going to end up. We know there's another series. There's no guarantees we're going to get a happy ending at the end of this series. We might get on a cliffhanger. Like, we just don't. It's going to keep us guessing. We've only got 2 to go. What about you, Catherine? Where are we going?
Well, I know I want Cassian to retrieve Nemik's manifesto. Because it was mentioned so much.
Good closing shot for the final episode.
Yeah, and, they made a point, Val made a point of giving it to Cassian. We know the writing of this show, it wouldn't happen for no reason. So I want him to retrieve that somehow, and yes, retrieve his stash of credits so he can fund his getting away. But yeah, like, go back to Ferrix and seeing what's going down, and then it all firing up. But yeah, Melshi by his side. He's got his best friend.
He's got his little buddy, yeah.
Yes!
What about you, Matt? What are you thinking? Where are we heading, mate?
It's interesting because they're really good at just sort of fading out of every episode without leaving any breadcrumbs for next week or anything. And you just see them, after a huge swim running into the desert or forest or whatever it is. I think he has to go back to get his stuff. I think Melshi will come with him. He has to read the manifesto. And I think this whole prison experience, the only reason he was put into prison was because of, the Empire's sort of new dodgy rules and just, justice without any real evidence or anything. The manifesto, he'll buy. That's where he'll get his buy-in and sort of, I don't know. That's where we'll sort of start rebelling and then making contact back with all those old people.
Do you reckon that they're going to basically, like the next episode, we'll see the ISB or whatever, or the Empire going, "Oh, there was a prison break. These are all the prisoners that got away." And there's literally going to be a photo of Cassian like looking up at the security camera or something before he jumps off the thing and going, "Oh my god!" Like we had him, and
100%. I reckon that's exactly what will happen. Like, this is a serious breach incident. So, it'll just be like the ISB again. Huge meeting. No one's going home, and there's been a prison break. Because that's what they're there to do. Like every time there's any sorts of rebellion or issues like this, they sort of huddle up, get the scrum going, and then
not to mention
will
that
be all over it.
People got that people don't know what's going on there, so they assume that everybody that they locked up, they could do what they want, and no one would ever get out and find out. So if they get out and start telling people like the Empire locked you up and they basically work you to death or work you to the end of your sentence and then put you somewhere else till you work to your death somewhere else, and there's no way out. People will start revolting. Revolution. They've gone even further.
The reckoning.
So I don't know. Like, do you think the reckoning is going to go down on? I feel like it's going to kick off on Cassian's home planet. I feel like that's kind of where it's all going to go down.
Yeah,
that's a melting pot. They've already got secret sounds and signals and everything. And
yeah,
you're going to say Secret Santa. They've already got Secret Santa. There's too many people to buy one present for everybody buys everybody presents, so they've just got a good Secret Santa system going.
I think Marva's going to do something to set some chain of events off as well.
Oh, yes. That's a good call, Dale.
Now, whether she's doing it, making them think she's gone a bit bonkers and she hasn't, and there's some plan, because she did indicate that she was devoting herself to disruption.
The tunnels. She was talking about the tunnels that run under to the hotel.
Do you think Cassian might be a bit more like, "I'm here, come and get me"? If we need to get the people here to start the revolution, the right people here to get in their face, what's going to draw them here is by letting them know that criminal number one Cassian Andor is here. Hey, rebels, you want to come and get me? I'm here. Hey, Empire, you want to come and get me? I'm here.
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Come at me, all bros.
So, the other day, I saw the clip from Gladiator. So, I am Gladiator. I'm the son of a murdered.
Oh yeah,
father to a hard-murdered wife,
and I will have my vengeance.
Murdered, yes.
Nice. Go, Russ, go.
Cassian Andor.
I mean, so much that, but I mean, if he's just like, I'm getting there and this, I'm going to lure everybody in, and we're going to take our planet back. Everyone's going to come looking for me. It might be I'm tired of running. I can't run from this. I'm going to face it down. Who knows?
Look, I think if I just got out of prison, I'd want to go to my mum too.
I'm getting some real,
just for a decent meal if you've been eating all that like stuff out of a tube
with flavour though. It's got they won a few rounds, so they got a bit of flavored
crushed up hut.
I'm actually getting some tragedy vibes now. I feel like Marva is going to die in Cassian's arms now.
No.
And that's what's going to... And she'll be so proud to see him being part of the rebellion. And then...
I know, but think of the therapy we're all going to have to put in for Catherine and the state she's going to be in.
Surely the government's put some sort of fund together.
So, yeah, what's the Medicare,
What's the rebate that you get
code?
on?
What's the rebate code? It's Cassian C66.
And Catherine just crying on a train and someone asking her what's wrong, and she's trying to explain the plot to Andor.
No, then she'd be like, "What do you mean you haven't seen it?" Well, now I'm just angry.
Let me introduce you to our Lord and Saviour, Cassian Andor.
Would you like a pamphlet? I'll come around. I'll put it on for you. Have you at least got a Disney Plus subscription? All right, well, let's start there. Well, guys,
I always think about the costumes, and I'm like, Should that prison costume be bloody easy to do, wouldn't it?
For Celebration.
Yeah, there's got to be 20 people marching along the corridor in that. That'd be.
You've got to
epic
be
to watch.
barefoot.
Barefoot, though. Yeah.
Barefoot boots, and boots are the most expensive part of a costume.
That's true. Actually, that would be good for you, Matt. Then you wouldn't get your feet all sore wearing brand new shoes at Celebration.
True.
You could just go around in
I'm
bare
thinking
feet.
now the run of the Wilho Roods is going to be overdone by the run of the Narkina 5 prisoners.
You could start your own alternative one.
Yeah, you've started.
We're streaking. No, we're not. We'll see.
One way out. One way out. One way out.
Yeah, we're going to be those people. Fandors.
Yeah.
The Fandor menace. Guys, well, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, really. I kind of thought that there was no way they'd be able to top it a few weeks ago with the heist, but they've come pretty
That
bloody
was
close.
spectacular.
It was about as good as it gets, and not just for television, and not just for Star Wars television, but I think for Star Wars in general. I think it's up there with some pretty big classic Star Warsy moments in its own way.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm going to hit you up with one. Where now that we're 10 episodes in of Rings of Power, House of Dragon, and Andor,
This is better than those. Yeah,
what's
absolutely.
what's your 1, 2, 3 now?
Andor 1. I'm gonna have to put Rings of Power 2 and then House of Dragon 3, just because of the gratuitous childbirth stuff in House of Dragon. Unnecessary.
Okay.
There it is. I'm sticking by that. I mean, I put Andor above every other Star Wars television that's been made ever.
You put Luke Skywalker in the bin, mate.
Yeah, I put Luke Skywalker in the bin weeks ago, and I stand by that.
I know, mate. Mark Hamill ain't impressed.
Hamill will understand.
He might retweet something very soon.
I'll be careful because his son Nathan does follow me on Twitter, so I've got to. I don't want to upset Nathan because he's nice to me. He sends me nice things about Bluey, and Peppa Pig. Shout out Nathan if you're listening. All right, guys. Well, I mean, let's come back again next week and do it all again, huh? 2 to go, Catherine. I know you'll be disappointed when it all ends and you'll feel like it's a long wait, but I mean, what a ride, huh?
And how long will the series be all up? Has anyone calculated?
It's 20
when it's all done?
24 episodes.
Yeah.
No, I mean in minutes. Like, so if you
so
were watching
far?
it in a marathon.
I'd say it's at least
It's 9 hours, maybe?
400 minutes so far. 450, I reckon, because there's been some 50s, 56s, 40s.
Yeah.
So it's about 6 to 7 hours already.
Oh, you could watch it every day, Catherine, until the next series came out.
Yeah.
And there's a big 40,
Yeah.
when there's a 40-degree day or something, we're coming
That'll
into
get
summer.
in the way of all the door knocking, though. So
Well, it'll be too hot to door knock in the summer. You'll be like, well, door knock, it's 40 degrees outside. Close the shades, pump up the AC, pump up the Andor, pump up the Andor, pump up the Andor.
The Andor.
Any closing thoughts, guys?
no, I can't wait for the final 2. I hope the final 2 are long as well, like an hour 16 or something. That would be wicked, like finish strong and long.
Yes.
No comment.
Yes.
So I just
The long and strong,
repeating my
about to
wife.
get the friction on. Yeah.
Oh God, it's just so good. Like, I know I've go bang on about it, and I've been banging on about Andor for 4 years. But
You backed the
look
right
how good
one.
it is.
You did.
Look how good it is. Like, it's amazing that this was the show. He's the character. I was like, yes, you're my guy. This is my show. This is going to kill it. And it is. It is just so... It is so amazing. It's just brilliant television. Brilliant television.
I was hoping they'd drop a stinky one just so we could see if you could be
Well,
objective.
they haven't done it like,
No,
it's
it's been
filler, or
10
they haven't done it. No one's done it.
10 bangers in a row. Well, maybe the first 3 were there, but that was breaking ground and establishing things. So you sort of let those slide. But there hasn't been one bad one at all.
Not even close to a bad one. Not even close to a middling one. All right, guys. We could just talk around in circles about how good this is. Catherine, you're on your press tour. I know you did.
Where are you potting this week, Catherine?
Anything on this one you want to plug?
No, not.
Check your front
yet.
doors.
Yeah, no one's
Catherine will
hit
be
me up.
around knocking on your front door.
Coming to a door knocking near you.
Dale, anything that you want to when you plug and promote? Anything like that? Nothing's going on. Nothing going on with the fan club. What's the fan club feeling about Andor? Is everyone digging it?
Everyone's digging it like a old school record.
Nice. And about you, Matt, you got a few. I know the pod came back. I know you said you were trying to get that organised last week.
I got some internet back from some infrastructure back from my peeps, and me, Turbo, and Cal had a very, very deep Andor chat. It was just non-stop because we all just went 1 to 9 over about an hour. So some good chat. We enjoyed that. Excellent.
Well, 2 to go. Hopefully, we can get you all back for the next 2. I don't know why you would want to miss all of this, but hopefully we'll send this home as strongly as we've come into it. But thank you, guys.
Thank you, Josh. It was
Thanks,
amazing.
Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Well, thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.